There was a point in history where Proton was incredibly confused with their product lineup. Look back as recent as 2010s, they launched the Saga, Persona, Gen 2, Waja, Inspira, Preve, Perdana. 7 different sedans in the same decade and some in overlapping segments, which left many consumers head spinning on which is the perfect car for them. In an era where Myvis and Vivas were flying off showroom floors, Proton had only the poor Savvy and Saturno to compete with Perodua. Their dwindling sales figures also proved that they did not have a sound product strategy to capture people's heart. But post-Proton Geely era, with a refreshed vision to be the top 3 car maker in ASEAN and access to an allegiance of global car makers, Proton now has its sights set on the big boys table. Now they have a product strategy that makes sense. 3 SUVs, 3 sedans, 1 compact hatchback, all at different price points with a clear differentiation on its customer segments.
This refreshed product lineup is also reaping results for our national car maker, posting consistent sales growth year on year. And this is Proton's most intelligent, most high-tech and supposedly most premium product, the Proton X90, positioned as the brand's top-of-the-line, top-of-the-range SUV. It is also the most expensive model Proton has ever launched, priced at 152,800 ringgit for this 1.5 TGDi BSG flagship variant. But is this your next perfect car? Let's find out. Hello everybody, this is Adrian from WapCar.my and I'm all about the details. Starting with the exterior design, I find that the X90 has a more MPV-like silhouette with its boxy, squarish rear deck. Not really my cup of tea, but there are some elements on the car which I find it quite nice. For example, the LED headlamps does a welcome animation whenever you unlock the car in the dark. The 98-inch alloys are wrapped around Continental Eco Contact tyres.
But what is quite peculiar to me is that the X90 has a different tyre size from the X70. You see, the X90 has a sportier setup with wider contact patch and lower profile compared to the X70. I would imagine that sharing the same tyre profile and rubbers with the X70 would help Proton achieve greater economies of scale.
Now the X90 is equipped with a hands-free power tailgate, so you just have the key in your pocket, approach the car, take one step back, then it just pops up automatically. And it opens up to best-in-class 257 litres of boot space, incredibly practical even with the third row seats up. And with the third row seats folded down, space is expandable up to 1,200 litres, also best-in-class. But what I find it quite peculiar is that it does not come with a tonneau cover to keep your items hidden from prying eyes when you have the third row seats folded down. And under the false boot floor, there's also extra storage space and the spare tyres is located underneath the car. Stepping inside, you'll be greeted by a very well laid out cabin. It's organized, it's simple, minimalistic, but there are some design elements going on, like on the dashboard here as well as the center screens. Now speaking of screens, I love the highly responsive touchscreen, the floating touchscreen. It's just so intuitive, easy to use, and they have other features like the 360-degree camera, panoramic sunroof, front ventilated seats. I think it's a godsend in our weather. Highlight in here is the instrument cluster. Now this one is the new generation instrument cluster introduced by Proton. First came in the X90, subsequently in the S70. Now compared to the ones found in the X50 and X70, those two are a little bit difficult to navigate and are quite dated. This one here, the screen is vibrant, simple, crisp, and all the informations are very well laid out to you. And all you have to do is just press this button right here and it accesses all the sub-menus and it allows you to easily navigate through the different screens. Things that are not so great in the cabin of the X90 is the lack of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, but it does have built-in Spotify to allow you to play your music and stuff. Next up, the seats do not have enough thigh support. If these powered seats come with rake adjustment, I think it will be perfect. As for cabin practicality, there's a wireless charging tray here, huge kind of center tunnel cut out for you to put your items, 2 cup holders. The side door bins don't fit a large size water bottle, but your center armrest here can fit up to 3 large size water bottles. Seated in the middle row seats of the X90, I have the front seat adjusted to my usual driving position and I'm 175 cm tall. In the seats in the most forward position, my knees are just rubbing the front seats. but if I slide it all the way backwards, I have about 3 and a bit tennis balls worth of knee room. Space and the footwell aplenty. It's completely flat here, so I'm able to comfortably move my feet around as well as slot my feet underneath the front seat for a more comfortable seating position. Now, amenities in here include 2 back pockets, individual aircon controls, and ventilated seats for the middle row passengers. Well, this one feels like a boss, huh? 2 USB charging ports, Type A and Type C, and there's a little cutout here for you to put your phone if it's plugged into the cable. Now, what I love in the middle row seats of the X90 is that it has roof-mounted air vents. So this is able to have the air vents directly, cooling you as opposed to having it in the center console here. Now, for 3-row SUVs or MPVs, I always recommend getting the captain seats because having an aisle in the center here just makes it so much easier to get into the 3rd row seats, especially for children. Just look, yeah, easy does it. Now, I have the middle row seats just adjusted to the middle position, so they have about 2 tennis balls worth of knee room, and I have also 2 tennis balls worth of knee room. Now, space in the footwell, I'm also able to slot my feet underneath the middle row seats for a more comfortable sitting position. But the 3rd row's floor is actually raised up ever so slightly, so you do have to raise your knees a bit, but yeah, macam ni lah. The 3rd row passengers will have individual USB charging ports, Type A. There's also a little cup holder as well as a platform for you to place your phone. And the sitting posture, it's just like this. You don't get reclining seats, but you do get individual rear airbags. Poodling around the city, the X90 is a very relaxing affair thanks to the smooth transmission calibration of the 7-speed wet clutch DCT. Because of its 48-volt BSG, it helps fills in the torque gaps at low speeds and in between gear shifts. So what you're getting is a very smooth driving experience. The suspension calibration, Proton's ride and handling is just fantastic, top notch. It soaks up undulations so well. Even when you come to high frequency undulations like cobble roads and all that, you rarely feel anything transmitted into the cabin. Nothing is jarring at all. Now, one thing that I particularly appreciate about Proton's ride and handling calibration, and especially in this X90, is how effortless and easy it is to navigate around tight spaces. Because the steering, I love this feeling. It's just light, easy, linear, intuitive. It just makes this X90, it is a big car, navigating around town a much more relaxed, comfortable affair. So yeah, this as a city car, I quite enjoy it. Getting up to speed with the 1.5 litre turbocharged 3-cylinder petrol engine paired with a 48-volt BSG, 190 horsepower, 300 Newton meters of torque is brisk, but this power plant, it's not a power unit, it's not gonna kick your back. It doesn't like being pedal to the metal, it doesn't like to be whipped. What it likes is just a gradual push, gradual asking for power, and it'll get you up to speed, no issues. It's when you put your foot down, dump it, you feel there's a little bit of a lag. Now, some people might call the transmission slow. I prefer to call it's more comfort oriented. Okay. Now, as for the highway stability, I mean, again, Proton's ride and handling, no complaints at all. It's just so planted, it's so direct, steering feedback is sufficient. For an SUV, you don't want it to be overly sharp. This one is just nice, and you're just cruising along, you get a lot of confidence on the road. And it also helps that the X90 is equipped with premium tires, Continental Eco Contact. So, the NVH is well suppressed in terms of the road noise. Even the wind insulation is also top notch in the X90. Now, as for ADAS, the X90 gets the full suite, level 2 semi-autonomous driving feature, and it's actually quite reliable on our roads. The only problem is when you have all of these bikes trying to filter through the lanes, cutting in suddenly, or cars that last minute turn in without signals. It will jolt the car a little bit, but I think that's as per any other car's systems ADAS. So it's quite normal. And I think with the low speed follow traffic jam assist, this really helps takes off fatigue when you're stuck in traffic or even traveling on long distance drives. As Proton's first premium 3-row SUV, I think they've done a great job. It's comfortable, it's well equipped, it's practical, and it's quite decent to drive. But is it worthy enough to be called their flagship most expensive model? I think it just falls a tad bit short, in a sense that the look and feel doesn't scream flagship enough. If only that the materials are better to touch. It comes with more premium, high-end features such as premium audio sound system, more exciting material finishing, all of which are available in the X90 position below it. If you ask me, for those who are looking for top-grade ride quality in a practical 6-seater package without needing too much bling or attention, the X90 Flagship with its captain seats for the bosses, spacious interior and usable boot space, safe for families with older folks, children or high-ranking officers to be chauffeured in, I think the X90 is the perfect car for you. But what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this.